Where are you now?
So recently we built a system where a Node MCU communicates with Twitter and displays the message on a dot matrix display. If you haven't seen this video, I'm going to leave the links here. But after putting that, one of my viewers mentioned that these dot matrix display look like the tickers that move in the front of the London Stock Exchange. The same thing is true for the New York Stock Exchange, and they wanted to see if we can actually use the same technique to get the stock prices of whatever we are interested in and display it on these dot matrix display. In US, there are two different options. So Robinhood is a free website where you can go and trade stocks. They also have an app which makes it very easy. I'm a big fan of Robinhood, and they don't charge any commission to make trades, so they're pretty awesome. And there is a different source as well. So IEX also provides a web-based API through which you can get real-time stock information using their API. The issue with Robinhood is that their API is undocumented. Even on their website there is no information, and we have to just get these information from trial and error. So let's not go into the details of how to get it. So all we do is just go to this particular website, just type in api.robinhood.com/codes, and whatever is the stock that you're interested in. In this case we are looking at TSLA, which is Tesla's short form. So once you put that in, you get a reply back from Robinhood that looks like this. This is fantastic because this is in JSON format. So for this particular Tesla, we have a trade price that is 294.075 with an approximation 294.08. So as of today, this is the price, and every time you do this, you get a real-time data as to what the latest price is. And we love our ESP8266, so what we do is we use something called Robinhood API. I have created this particular library, just install it. I'm going to show you how to do that. So what this does is it retrieves the stock price for whatever you're interested in. So it just goes and does this. So it changes whatever the query is with whatever you do using your ESP8266 and retrieves the price, processes it using Arduino JSON, and displays it on your screen. So how you want to use this Robinhood API is go to this particular website. So this is a repository on GitHub. I'll leave the links below. Click on clone and download this zip and save this particular zip file. In Arduino, go to Sketch, include a library, add zip file, and point that to this particular zip file. So how to use this particular library? So Robinhood API needs to be included first. After installation, include it. Get a fingerprint of Robinhood's website. You can get the fingerprint using a link. I have supplied the link here as well. So what it does is it goes and queries if this particular fingerprint is exactly the fingerprint of Robinhood. If it is, then it retrieves the data. Again, this is not required. This is just to double check that you are actually connecting to the correct server. So if you're not going to use a fingerprint, you can just define the API this way. If you're going to use a fingerprint, define it as a string and pass that while you start the API. Remember to also pass a Wi-Fi client secure. This is required for Robinhood to function correctly by connecting to Robinhood using the Wi-Fi secure library that is included with your ESP8266. So now go ahead and start using this once you have already defined it. So you create a stock symbol as a string and pass that, and here you just type in rh.getStockQuote, and in the serial you get this rh. The last trade price is this guy, and the percentage difference is this. So if it's for this particular day, the price of Tesla has gone up by 3, that's why this is positive, and you can actually determine if it's negative or positive depending on what the previous close was. So here let's look at this particular example. Go to File, Examples, Robinhood API, and click on this particular example. So this is the second example. So for this you also have to install Arduino JSON. You need to install MD Parola because these animations that show up on your screen has been already written by this fantastic library. So this is just an animation library, and for this animation to work you need to install the drivers. So basically this particular driver, once it's installed, this library can make use of it. So a few things that you have to do is go into the src directory, go into this header file, and if you're using this particular hardware, so this FC16 hardware, you need to change this value to 1 and the default hardware to 0. So this way the driver knows which libraries to use to actually drive this particular dot matrix display. And finally, if you want Wi-Fi manager as one of the definitions over here, if you want to use Wi-Fi manager, go ahead and install Wi-Fi manager as well. So here we have HTTP server as well. So basically this ESP8266 is communicating continuously with Robinhood using our Robinhood API, and it's also serving a web server on it. So basically what the web server does is you can get input from the user as to what stock it has to query with Robinhood, and that is displayed on the screen. Again, the connections are shown here. This is exactly same as our previous connections. So here I'm just showing what's happening. So again, here there are like a few stocks. So Tesla, Apple, Pandora, Amazon, Facebook, and Google. So basically these are the stock prices and these are the percentage change, and you will see that these values are continuously scrolling through this dot matrix display. So on the web server, so here you can go and let's say you want to add Alcoa. So the short form for Alcoa is AA. So let's go and add that. Once we add that, now Alcoa goes into the list of stock that it queries. So all you have to do is separate them by commas, and it starts scrolling Alcoa right after Google. So there you go. So go ahead and start using this API. If you want more functions out of this particular API, let me know. If you want to make some particular queries, we can go ahead and change a few things to get the particular query out of Robinhood. Again, because the library is undocumented, it is quite difficult to figure out which query that you want to get out of Robinhood.